Okay, we're going to do some work with functions in a little bit different forms. So here we have a table, and we notice that the table has x's and f of x. The corresponding, if we put 0 into our function, we're going to get 20 out the other side. We don't know what the function is. We don't have to know what the function is. We just know if we put in this, we get this. If we put in this, we get this. So my 4 questions here, the first one, and I'm gonna give these a little bit more space here. So the first one says find f of 0. What I want you to remember when you're working with function notation is whenever you see a number inside of this parenthesis here, that number is an x. So this says x is 0. Now you're going to have to get used to seeing it written this way, but that's what it says. So that's simply asking us to go to the table, find where x is 0, and see what answer would spit out. And we can see that if x is 0, the answer we get is 20. The second one says find f of x equals 0. So again, whatever's in this parenthesis is our x, and we don't know that number. But we do know the answer that came out the other side is 0. So here I'm going to go to the answer column. I'm going to find that answer of 0, and I'm going to figure out what x led me to that answer. And we can see that x value is a 10 there. So if we want 0 to come out the other side, then the x we put in has to be 10. So try these next 2. Pause the video if you need. The third one says find f of x equals 10. Again, we don't know what x is, but we know the answer coming out the other side. We're looking for an answer of 10. Here's that answer of 10, and we see that happens when x equals 5. The fourth one says find f of 10. Remembering, again, anything that's inside those parentheses there is the x. That's what we're putting in for x. So this says x is 10, and our answer spits out that 0. Let's look at another form. We could be given a graph. What I see here is a graph of f of x. The 2 questions I'm being asked is to find f of 2. Again, and I want to grab my trusty blue arrow here. Anytime I have a number inside those parentheses, that number is an x. So I'm going to go to x is 2, 1, 2. I'm going to find my graph. What I'm talking about is this point right here, where x is 2. I can see my graph touches -3. That is, if I put in x is 2 into my function, it comes out down here at y equals -3. The next question asks me the opposite. It says find f of x equals 2. I don't know what the x is, but I know that the y needs to come out at 2. So I'm going to go up to y is 2. I'm going to go along to my graph. Oh, right here I see that my graph touches y is 2. I see that the x value that I'm talking about there is -2. You with me there? So this dot is where I get the answer of 2 to spit out my function. Bam, right there. What x gives me that? X equals -2. Hey, but you might notice if I follow that y equals 2 line along, there's another value over here. Let's say approximately -5.5. What I notice is if I want an answer of 2 to spit out on my graph, there are 2 different values that will give me that. X equals -2 gives me a Y value of 2, or X equals -5.5 gives me a Y value of 2. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.